Hey guys, it's GameFace here and welcome back to the FIFA 16 video, and today it's episode 1 of my new career mode series. This is just one of the 2 career modes that I'm doing on this channel, and yeah, as you can see in the title, the career mode is with Arsenal, and basically what I'm going to be doing is giving myself the 60% increase and the scouting of a top young player. But yeah, we are going to do an Arsenal career mode. Now, the reason why I've given myself the 60% and the other scouting thing is because Arsenal recently released their kind of like their budget, and pretty much in real life they have apparently 190 million just lying around. Obviously not all of that's spent on players, but it's kind of realistic that I give them loads of money, and also because I do want to try and bring in the youth players. That's why I've done the that young player that you get to scout that is a really top talent. That's why I've also done that as well, because I want to try and develop a really young and really talented team in this Arsenal side, whilst also keeping the realism in there as well. So let's get on with this career mode. 50 million and the 60% bonus, so we're going to have just over 75 million to spend. We're going to go world class like I usually do. We'll up that if needed, but I can't see us needing to go any higher than that really. 4 minutes as the half length, and we'll just go with the rest of the stuff. European competition, I think we will go with that to make it more realistic. The fact Arsenal are in European competition this year. I'll be back in a minute once I've decided who they have in the group actually. I want to make it as realistic as possible. Okay, so I've just had a quick check, and Arsenal have quite a few decent teams actually in their group. In fact, well, I suppose only one main decent team that you probably have, that you probably know about, is Bayern Munich. So let's put them in there, and we'll also take out Shakhtar. I'm not too sure that I can get what are they called? Dynamo Zagreb, or something like that. I don't know if I can get them on this game, but we can certainly get in Olympiacos, who are over here, and we'll try and get rid of Barcelona and get in one of the alternate clubs, hopefully. And yeah, let's see whether I can try and get in a different club as a replacement for Barcelona. Okay, so sadly we can't put in the other team that Arsenal have in their Champions League table, so we're obviously not going to put in Barcelona. We will put in somebody else. I think we'll put in Sevilla. I know it's not a similar sort of team to the one that we've got in real life, but I think it's about right and gives us a nice little challenge in our group. So let's confirm the changes and get on to loading the rest of the career mode. Arsenal excited about the future with GameFace. Look at that picture, Jack Wilshere's hand on Theo Walcott's head. I've not seen that one before. I don't know whether EA have realised and have done that on purpose. I'm not really too sure. That's quite a funny picture. But let's see how good we can get with Arsenal. I really want to have a decent team with this side. We will be doing the pre-season friendly tournament thing. It might be the case that we sim all the games, but we'll at least be participating in that anyway. I'm obviously going to make some transfers and really just improve the squad, because I feel that we could have a really good career mode with this. So if you do like the idea and you're looking forward to the series, then please go hit the thumbs up button. Also subscribe as well. That'll be really appreciated, guys. And yeah, I'll also be doing a Leeds career mode as well alongside this one. That one will be starting soon. I don't have an exact date yet, but just keep your eye out on the sub box or my channel. And yeah, we'll hopefully have that one out very shortly. Also, Foot Draft will be out as well in the next day or two. But yeah, we are going to advance the invites that I have, and let's see what the different options are. We've got the most expensive one, which is in Saudi Arabia, and obviously against the best teams. Or we've got slightly less amounts here, but we do have some easier teams, and I think I'm actually going to go for this one. I know it's the lowest amount of money, but does $1 million really make any difference to us? It just means I'm able to sim all the different games and still get the 7.2 million. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. We've got like loads of money, so we don't really need that much more. So I can happily kind of lose $1 million, if you like, just to avoid the likes of Juventus, Atletico, Inter, Real Madrid and PSG. So we're going to win the Champions Trophy. We're going to enter that one, and for those of you that don't know, basically it's just like a small little tournament. You have a little group, you go straight into a semi-final and then play a final. So that's all really exciting. We're obviously going to be in that, and the board would like us to win the cup. And we also need to look for attacking midfielder, and a scout report has arrived. Sorry, a scout has arrived, bringing us some new players. So we are going to have a look at those, and we'll basically be trying to sign some really nice young players. Also, league objectives. They're to win the league already. Okay, that I wasn't expecting that one actually. That's a bit of a strange one. 80.8 million to spend. That will do. I'll happily have that. And let's see what our squad's like. We've got 44 out of the possible 52 players, which is pretty decent. It's a shame about Szczesny being out on loan. I quite like him at the club. I like Szczesny. He's a tall goalkeeper, someone that's quite young as well, so that's the reason why I like him mainly, for his height. But let's go through the team, and basically I'll be back in a minute. So I've decided on the players I'm enlisting and sending out on loan and all those things like that, because I have 7 keepers, not all of which are currently at the club though. Okay, so these are the players that I have listed. I've listed quite a few different players here. I've got rid of, hopefully going to be getting rid of Flamini, Rosicki, that right back guy I can't pronounce the name of, Debussy also, O'Connor, Macy, and is it Ilaviv or something like that? I'm not really too sure what he's called. Again, I'm going to be getting rid of those. The reason why I'm getting rid of Rosicki and Flamini is because the wages are huge and they're older players I don't really want at the club. I could have easily got rid of Arteta, but I kept him at the club because he's obviously, I think he's the club captain. I'm pretty sure I'm right on that one. But Rosicki and Flamini I don't feel I need. We'll be getting in some better players and they just won't be necessary in the team. There's no point having them on 60 grand a week as well when I could just have someone younger on less amount of money as well potentially. So the other players that I have listed are for loan. These are the youngsters that I think might be useful in a few seasons, maybe a little bit of a stretch. Also just to give them some game time as well. I don't want to sell all my young players. In fact, speaking of that, I'm actually going to list this player. I've just realised he's 55 overall and he's like 20, was it, or something? So yeah, he's not going to be great, is he? Let's be honest. And I think other than that, I'm pretty happy with those players that I've listed. I know what sort of players I need to now get in, and I'll be back once I've decided exactly who I need to get in, not just what positions. But first I'm going to hire a scout, and look at this, the scout prices have gone down massively, which is brilliant news for us all because we're now able to scout new young players. And another new feature, the scouts are already ready to go scout a player, which is brilliant. We don't have to wait for them to be transported wherever. So we are going to look at young English talent, and we're basically going to send this scout over for 6 months to look for English players, hopefully find us a star that we can have in our team. Arsenal's all about developing those young English players, or it has been anyway throughout the last few seasons. So we need to try and continue that and try and enhance that and get in the best English players possible. We're also going to actually now have a look at the signings, like I was saying before, one of which is going to be a centre-back, and that's where I'm going to start my search. But I'm not actually going to look specifically at players. I'm going to actually send put a new instruction for the scout to go have a look at. So we are going to have a look at centre-backs. They need to be, I think, fairly young, because you look at the centre-backs I've got at the moment. Koscielny, Mertesacker and Gabriel are my 3 centre-backs currently. I like to have 4. In fact, sometimes 5 as well if I'm being a little bit over the top. But I'm going to try and get in another centre-back, but he's got to be young. I know that Chambers can play there. I'd rather keep him as my sub right back. And I think in terms of age, we're going to have to look at 23 to 16 years old. And I think also promising as well will be the right one to go for. So we'll see what the scout comes back with, and we'll look at other players I need at the moment. I think we're going to make an offer for Cavani. It was obviously massively linked in the summer transfer window. And so is Benzema. He's another potential option. He's just like 10 million more. So we'll go for the cheaper option of the two. And we're going to try and get in Cavani. Now, as part of the deal, I've kind of thought about the players I have currently. And I've realised that Giroud probably isn't needed if I get another striker, and I kind of want another aerial presence. So there's no point having multiple strikers that do the same job. So let's just get an improvement on Giroud. So I'm going to put him as part of the deal. Hopefully they're okay with that, PSG. It kind of makes sense, a French player going to a French club as well. So that's kind of what I'm going on, as well as the fact that I just want him to go pretty much. But we are going to get in Cavani, hopefully. 12.5 million for Giroud. And I think we'll just stick on, maybe 15 million actually. We'll try that as an initial bid and see what PSG say to it. And because the board wanted me to get a new centre attacking mid, I decided to go for someone that's young, English, and pretty much fits what they are after. A young centre attacking mid, or a centre attacking mid as they were after. So he can play multiple positions, James Ward-Prowse. We know how good he is. Hopefully he's a decent overall in here. I'm not too sure exactly what he is. He was 74, I think, on the last FIFA is what I'm going to say. And basically I'm just going to see whether I can try and get him in. Flamini's worth 2.5, and then, who is it? Rosicki, where's he? Let's see how much he's worth. Where is Rosicki? I must have gone past him somewhere, but hopefully we can maybe get rid of Rosicki as part of the deal. I don't think he's actually on here, so The other option is Debussy, who's worth 7.5 million. We want to get rid of him. We're going to go 3 million on top of that. It seems like a lot, but I imagine Southampton are after quite a lot for James Ward-Prowse, who kind of fits into our team perfect if he was to sign. Let's see what they say to that bid, and I think that's pretty much going to be it for my transfers for now. What I will also do is set up some training programs or training drills, and basically try and grow some of my younger players and see whether they can develop before this first game that I've got. Okay, so these are the 5 players that I am picking for the drills, and they're mainly young players really, aren't they? We've got Oxlade-Chamberlain doing a dribbling course, Welbeck doing distance shooting, one-on-one defending for Gabriel, and I'm doing 2 training sessions or 2 drills with Bellerin, and one of them is one-on-one defending, the other is speed dribbling. I'm going to simulate all of them because I'm a little bit lazy and I don't feel like playing them, playing the training sessions anyway, because it kind of just wastes a little bit of time, even though the results aren't quite as good when you sim them. Let's see how they do, and we've got D grade, B grade, F, A, and D. So not disastrous, I suppose, for Gabriel it pretty much is, and maybe Oxlade-Chamberlain, but Bellerin got something out of that, and so did Danny Welbeck. So let's now get on to the next few days and see whether they do accept the bids that I put in. PSG have said the bid is unacceptable. They're not interested in the player, and the cash amount is not enough. So what I am going to do is make them have the player, basically. We'll go 20 million now, increase of 5 million there. So hopefully we can get Cavani in for that, but we'll just have to see what they say to that first, the second bid. And the board want me to reach the Champions Cup final. That's another strange objective. That's a bit of a weird one. We'll try, but we'll have to see, I suppose. And Southampton have accepted the 3 million and Debussy offer that I put in. Let's see whether we can try and get in James Ward-Prowse on a 4-year deal. I'd like to do 5, but I won't push it too much. I'm going to go 4-year deal. We won't match the 50 grand, I don't think, unless he requests it, because I've noticed on my Man City code, which I have separate to this, that players come back asking for that money now. They don't bother just kind of letting it go and just going with the wage that they're currently on. They actually demand more wage on this FIFA. So I'm going to put this as a squad role. I think sporadic first team player we'll try, and we'll go bonus per goal as 20% just to try and lure him to the club. And we have received a transfer offer from Everton for Olivier Giroud, 15.5 million. I might actually try and sell Giroud so I can use that money to try and put into the deal to try and sign Cavani. So what we are going to do is counter offer, and maybe counter offer 17.5. I think that'll be a fair amount. In fact, probably overpaying from Everton if they do go along with that, because in real life I could never see him leaving for that amount, even though he has scored quite a few goals for Arsenal. But we do now have this first Champions Trophy game against Genoa, and we are going to sim the match. I'll come up with some sort of team. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, this is the team I'm going to go with. Basically, Sanchez isn't playing because he's on international duty, and the same with a few other players as well. We are just going to sim the match and see whether we can get ourselves the first win of this Champions Trophy. They're playing a bit of a strange formation, aren't they? 3-4-3. I'm not a huge fan of that one myself. Hopefully we can break that one down nicely. We're going to skip, and we won the game 3-0. Koscielny, Wilshere and Ozil with the goals. More transfer offers, this time for Gabriel. Sunderland want it for 9 million. We will reject that one. He's recently joined in real life, so there's no point in getting rid of him right now. We've got a next bid for Ozil, 40.5 million. That might seem a lot for Atletico Madrid, but they do have a lot of money on career mode this year, so again, we are going to reject the offer. Obviously, there are rumours that he wants to leave in real life, but for me, I can't really see that one happening. But we are going to, again, counter offer. I think 17 million is what I did the last time. It might have been 17.5 actually. So we will go with that for West Ham. And if they match it, and they can have Giroud. Counter offer received. This is what I was on about. James Ward-Prowse wanting 50 grand a week for his wage. It's a little bit of a strange demand, really, for such a young player. We will go 40. And I expect him to hopefully agree to that one. Otherwise, I won't be particularly happy giving him 50 grand a week already. And he's not going to play loads of matches. I'll try and include him as much as possible, and obviously in the cup. But he's not going to start every game of the week, is he? And I've also got a 2-year loan offer from Bristol City for my young CDM player, who I quite like the look of, actually. I hope he grows quite a lot. That'd be really nice to see him grow. PSG have come back and said they're not interested in the player still, so we will just remove Giroud now and go with money. Basically just go with a £30 million bid. See what they say to that. Hopefully we're not too far off their valuation of him. And again, on to the next game. We are going to again sim this one against Tigres. I think that's how I pronounce that one. And see whether we can get ourselves another win. They did just beat Boca Juniors 3-1 themselves, so they are probably in a little bit of decent form. Hopefully we can still beat them though, and I'll hopefully skip it once we've got ourselves the first goal, assuming that we do. and they have gone down to 10 million. We've got the goal, and we've skipped, and it's finished 1-1. Uche went and scored. I didn't realise he joined them, actually. Walcott got the first goal, though, and we've got ourselves a draw there. It's not a disaster, because obviously we are still top of the table, as you can see there, but we now have 5 emails to look at. Transfer offer for Nacho Monreal, 7.5 million. That is a lot of money from Olympiacos. Now, obviously in real life, I can't see him leaving, but he's 29 years old. We've got Kieran Gibbs, and I would like to get in another young left-back to kind of just improve the team in the kind of age category, if that makes sense. Because 29 years old is pretty old. I know that he's been very good in real life. So how's about we counter-offer and we go maybe 10 million? I'd happily take 10 million for Nacho Monreal. And if they match that, then brilliant. West Ham have come back and said they are going to match the 17.5 million that we asked for, and Everton have also said that, which is brilliant news, so Giroud looks to be on the way out to one of those two clubs. Transfer offer for Danny Welbeck, 12 million from Stoke. We're just going to go and reject that one. I want to keep Welbeck as a backup striker to hopefully Cavani. And James Ward-Prowse has accepted the 40 grand a week. He has got himself a little bit of a wage increase, but Debussy obviously leaving helps us out and actually gives us more wage in the end, because I think he was on 80 grand a week, which was ridiculous for him. And let's see what overall James Ward-Prowse is by going onto the team, and he's 74 overall like he was last year, which is pretty decent. He's going to be Rositzky's replacement, I believe, so he'll have a similar sort of role to the one that Rositzky would have had. And Olympiacos have come back and said they'll match the 10 million for Monreal. I wasn't expecting that one, so that's kind of good news, I suppose. We've gotten so much money for him, but again, we're going to have to now look at another left back to partner Kieran Gibbs in the squad. So player sold, Olivier Giroud's gone to Everton in the end. We got 15 million for him. PSG have said the sum is too low and he's worth more than that, so we're going to have to come up with some sort of improved bid for him, and we're going to go with 35 million as the next bid. Hopefully that's near enough the amount. We can't really go too much more than that, really, because then you start getting into ridiculous figures, and I don't really want to pay a crazy amount like some teams do in real life. So 10 million is how much Monreal will be leaving for. We now need to find ourselves another left-back. Before we look at left-backs, though, I've got this centre-back that I like the look of. We're going to scout him, see what he's like, and I'll probably do the exact same with some other players as well. I'm not really too sure who yet. I might scout this guy. Are there any other players I like the look of? Someone fast and strong. This guy seems to fit the bill as well. Yeah, we also need to try and look at a left back. I'm struggling for ideas for left backs, so we'll just continue to scout a few more of these players and see what sort of results we get from those scouting reports. Okay, now onto the left back, which I'm hopefully going to be signing. I know it's kind of one of those boring sort of career mode signings that everybody made last year, but I couldn't really think of any other young left backs. And is it Kurtzua or something? He's gone to PSG in real life, so I can't sign him. And this guy's being linked with a few Premier League teams, so I thought, why not? Let's kind of make a move for him, see what I can get him for a decent amount. We are going to try 8 million as the initial bid, see what they say to that, and the chances are they're probably wanting more for him, considering Monreal was 10. Now onto the game against Boca Juniors, though, and this is the final game of the table that we have before we go into the actual rounds. Hopefully we can qualify. It's kind of all down to this one, really. Boca Juniors desperately need to win, but we do as well to get through. We should really win with the team that we've got. The facts we're away as well should all be in our favour. Let's see, we've got ourselves a 1-0 at the moment, 5 minutes in. We're going to skip, and we won the game 4-0. Walcott's getting 1, Welbeck getting 2, and Ozil getting the other. So that means that we are now into the next round, which is the semi-final against Hoffenheim. We've also got ourselves a nice 1.8 million for going through into the next round. And yeah, let's see whether we can try and beat Hoffenheim now. I'm not going to do any more training sessions or drills right now because we've obviously got games coming up. I don't want to tire the players, so we'll leave it for now. Valencia have rejected the bid that I put in for Gaia because he's too valuable to them. So we're going to have to make an improved bid and kind of see what sort of amount they're wanting. But first, we are quickly just going to have a look at this. Transfer talks are broken down between Nacho Monreal because he's unwilling to relocate. That means that actually we don't need to put in a bid for Gaia, so we'll leave that one there and we'll actually archive the message in case I want to go back to it. And after 46 million for Cavani, which was more than I expected, but we are going to go 42, and that's going to be near enough our final offer, I'd imagine. And into the semi-final game now against Hoffenheim. This is the team I'm going with. It's basically just Kieran Gibbs changed for Monreal. And in fact, sorry, the other way around. Let's go on with this game though. Hoffenheim we have to play. Hopefully we can get ourselves a win. We are the home team. It should be one that we should be looking to try and win. They've gone 1-0 up, which isn't great. Walcott equalises though 15 minutes in. We've now got half an hour into the game. Bellerin with an injury, but Walcott scored just before that to make it 2-1. We're going to skip, and we won the game 4-1. Wilshire getting 2 and Walcott getting 2 as well. So, brilliant news that we're now into the final. Who is it against though? Besiktas. Okay, that's a bit questionable, but at least we've got into the final. That's the main thing. And we've got a tournament prize of 2.5 million so far. Also got Hector Bellerin that's out for 7 days, but he should be fine. I think for the final, maybe. He might not quite make it. But before the final, we do have loads of scout reports to have a look at. The first one is this player here. He's 70 overall, which isn't as good as I'd hoped. This guy I do like the look of, though. He looks a really talented player. 75 overall and 20 years old, left-footed as well, which is sometimes hard to find in a centre-back. Other players as well, we've got Gimenez, and I think it's Bally's that I pronounce his name. Gimenez, we all know, is a fantastic player. 78 overall and 20 years old. Looks a very good player. And moving on to the final, which I think is Bailey. I think that's how you pronounce it. Again, he doesn't look that great. So we will go to, I think, trying to sign, not Gimenez. I know he's the better one of the two that I've shortlisted. We will go for this guy here, though, because I think he's a little bit more obscure and he won't demand to play as much. In fact, we won't be going for him because he's recently joined the club. So we'll be forced to go with Gimenez and hopefully try and sign him. That changed very quickly, didn't it? We are going to go with, I think, an £8 million bid. They'll probably reject it, but would like to know kind of how much they're after for him. This is the final now. This is the team I'm going to be playing. Chambers filling in at right back. Other than that, pretty much exactly the same team as the last game. Besiktas, we are technically the away team here, which never goes well, so I'm not looking forward to this one. I mean, it doesn't mean a lot if we do lose it, but it's just a little bit extra money that we would have got. Sosa has gone and made it 1-0 for Besiktas. Ozil with the equaliser, making it 1-1. 35 minutes gone, and now nearly into the second half we are. And yeah, we've not managed to get ourselves a second until Walcott goes and puts one in the back of the net 51 minutes in. They equalise 61 minutes in from Gomez. And we have not got long left now to get ourselves a winner. And we skipped it, and they won 5-4 on penalties. Yeah, that didn't really go as planned, did it? I know we didn't win the Champions Trophy, but we got to the final, we came second. I'm not really that bothered about losing it, there's other things that we can win during the season. So PSG accepted 42 million, and now onto the wage. The contract offer that I'm going to offer Cavani is going to be, I think, 170 grand just to stop him from coming back asking for more. We'll go crucial first team player also as well to try and make things a little bit better. And I also decided to set up some training drills. These are the players I've gone with. Again, mainly English players here, except obviously Aaron Ramsey. But we have got Ward-Prowse doing 2 different drills. But again, going to simulate them all, see how they do. Hopefully get a little bit of growth here. And a D for Welbeck. He has gone up slightly though. Walcott with a B, and then another B, and an F for Ward-Prowse, and then a D in the precision passing. So not great for Ward-Prowse, but at least we managed to get them doing some training drills before the Community Shield against Chelsea. Atletico Madrid said that is unacceptable. They want us to pay 14 million. We're going to go with, I think, 12 million as the next bid. Hopefully they agree to that. It's kind of in between what we were willing to pay and what they wanted. So that is going to be it for this episode, guys. I'm not going to confirm the Cavani one yet because obviously he's not accepted or rejected the contract that I've given to him. So yeah, that is going to be it for this episode, guys. Sorry it's a little bit longer than usual. There won't be this long once I get through the transfer window. Let me know in the comments any transfers you want me to make. I've obviously got a long time left, over a month still, which is ideal for you guys to give me your suggestions. Also, leave a like and subscribe as well. It'd be really appreciated, guys. There'll be more of this very shortly. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time, and goodbye.